All right, good evening, everyone. If you are on YouTube or Instagram Live, then please search for Yoga Nidra Flow with Nina on Spotify. You can go ahead and start the playlist. Make sure it's not on shuffle. Welcome to Yoga Nidra Flow, the new class that I'm doing every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Just to kind of give a little bit of an overview of what this class will entail. It's going to be similar to my sunset flow classes if you've taken that with me before. However, there's going to be a little bit more of an emphasis on the yin part at the end of the practice. And at the very end, it's going to always be some sort of meditation during Shavasana. So a little bit longer of a Shavasana, and it'll be some sort of longer meditation. So really emphasizing this yoga nidra, which stands for yogic sleep, in preparation for sleep. So we're really going to focus on winding down and soothing the nervous system as we move through the flow. First of all, just getting some energy out, and then really calming the body and the mind. So to start off, find a comfortable seated position on your mat. So you can sit on the edge of a bolster, a blanket, a meditation cushion, a block, a pillow, whatever feels good for you. And closing the eyes or keeping a soft gaze open. We'll just take this moment to tune in. Relaxing the hands on the knees. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And anchoring into our breath to begin with. And simply just noticing the breath tonight. It doesn't need to be anything specific, but simply just noticing what the breath feels like tonight. Noticing that we are breathing. Oftentimes we aren't even aware of our breathing since it happens when we're not paying attention. And noticing how the body responds to our breath, or the movement that our body has in accordance with our breath. So just noticing if the belly is expanding on every inhale, noticing if the chest is expanding. Hopefully we do feel these two parts expanding. If we do find that our shoulders are rising up and down a lot, that's actually not utilizing the full capacity of our breath with our lungs and our diaphragm. So see if you can bring the breath, even just imagine the breath moving down into the abdomen. Maybe even placing one hand on the navel, the other hand on the heart, to really notice the movement of the chest and the navel with our breath. Trying to keep our shoulders steady, our shoulders down away from the ears. The hand on the navel is moving with our breath. And the hand on the chest, you may feel slightly moving, but the hand on the navel will really be moving with every inhale and exhale, either towards the spine on the exhale or away from the spine on every inhale. And we're breathing in and out through the nose. If we're congested, it's okay to breathe in through the mouth, but generally we're really moving the breath through the nostrils. And feel free to keep your hands where they are. But we're going to move our anchor. We're going to extend our anchor from the breath into the body. So just noticing what sensations are in the body right now. If you're sitting in a position that may not be so comfortable, this is the time when you may notice perhaps awkward positioning of legs, which I just felt with my feet, so I had to move my feet. But just taking this time to notice the body, the bodily sensations. And it's helpful to start somewhere. So maybe starting at the crown of the head And taking the next few moments to scan down from the crown of the head, ending at your toes. Keeping that breath moving. And we're not judging or labeling what's happening in the body as we scan it. We're simply just becoming aware. We're creating a connect between the mind and the body, which often are disconnected in our everyday lives. We're so used to doing things and not so used to really going inside and noticing what's happening in the body and the mind in every moment. So using these next few moments to create a connection. Then continuing our anchoring practice from noticing the breath, noticing the bodily sensations, bringing our awareness now to the mind. And once again, we're not judging or labeling what's coming up as good or bad, right or wrong. I shouldn't be thinking this, or why am I thinking this? We're moving away from that and moving more towards just awareness and presence with the mind. Just noticing what is naturally coming up in the mind and just staying curious to what is coming up. Not trying to push thoughts out, but being present with the thoughts that do come in. Mindfulness. So continue to anchor, whether that's through the breath, the body, or the mind. I'm going to introduce us to the theme of today's class, and this may become an intention for you for today's practice. But the theme today is to observe yourself. Watch yourself. That's not a grim admonition. It's a call to observe yourself and is a helpful tool on the journey. When you get stuck in a behavior, stuck in a pattern, stuck in a place, a thought, a feeling, a job, or a relationship, and you don't know how to get unstuck, watch yourself. When you've tried everything you know, and your feelings and old ways of reacting still come to the fore, even when you don't want them to, and especially when you've made an effort to do things differently, watch yourself. When it feels hopeless, when it seems things will never change or shift, when you can't help yourself and it doesn't look like those around you can't either, look at yourself. The act of watching ourselves, neutrally observing ourselves without judgment or reproach, can be a powerful tool for change. If you've tried to change, but it hasn't worked, then watch yourself. Watch what you say, what you think, how you feel, how you act, how you react. Don't try to stop yourself. Don't judge, just observe. Do it as long as you need to, although it may not take long. So just noticing our response, whether our physical response, our emotional, mental response to this passage that was read from Journey to the Heart. And noticing if any resistance comes up, noticing if any tension comes up, or noticing if an understanding, a resonance comes up. Wherever you are, just noticing. And we'll practice this throughout class as we move through our yoga practice, simply just observing ourselves instead of coming to judgments or identifications or labels. We're simply just observing ourselves as we move through our practice, just being aware, being present. And this can serve as an intention for our practice this evening. And at this time, if there is another intention that you'd like to set for your practice, you may repeat that intention to yourself, reminding yourself of why you're here on your mat right now. And we'll slowly start to add some gentle movement by rolling our shoulders up to our ears and back down. As big of shoulder rolls as feel good to you, you can continue to do a few more. And then reverse by rolling the shoulders from back to front. And then when you're ready, coming to stillness, you can gently open your eyes, tilt your right ear to your right shoulder. And of course, if there's any pain that any of these movements cause, then you are more than welcome to adapt as needed. Just going to open up the cervical spine, and if it feels extra good, you can use your right hand to gently guide the hand onto the left ear to just gently add some weight. So we're not adding too much pressure, but just enough just to add a bit of a stretch. You can close your eyes and simply just watch yourself, observe how you are in this moment. And gently release your right hand. And keeping your chin towards your chest, see if you can just move your chin directly to your chest, bowing down. Of course, if there's any pain, you are welcome to adapt. Just opening up the back side of the cervical spine. And then moving the left ear to the left shoulder. And if it feels good, you can take your left hand and guide the right ear down. Keeping that breath moving. And gently release the left hand. If and only if it feels good to you, you can rock your neck back, bringing your gaze up, the chin in front of you. And feel free to do a few neck circles or a neck half circles, or you can just simply just tilt left and right. So whatever feels good for your neck. And see if you can keep the shoulders away from your ears as you do these. It's really easy to scrunch the shoulders up, but that'll just cause us more tension in the muscles in our neck and our upper back. So see if you can keep the shoulders down. And going at a pace that is comfortable for you. Then reversing directions, moving in the other direction. And gently come back to center. All right, so we're going to add a little bit of movement. I'm actually going to incorporate some Kundalini yoga that I've learned recently from my training. I thought it's been a wonderful warm-up, and I've really been wanting to share it with you. So for this, I recommend if you want to sit on the edge of something soft, like a blanket or a pillow, I tend to come off of my block for this just so that I can really root my sits bones on the mat. So you really want to root your seat onto the mat in a comfortable position. We're going to do what's called Siri Om. So it's when you roll your upper body in a circle. but you actually link it to your movement. So you inhale as you roll forward, and then you exhale as you roll back. Now this is really nice. It actually helps move the prana, the life force of the body, from being dormant to more awake as it moves through our chakras. And I'll introduce elements of this in future classes. But so just roll in a circle, inhale as you move forward, and exhale as you round back. It's kind of like cat and cow. So inhale as you move into cow, exhale as you move into cat, rounding the back. And you move at your own pace. And this may feel a little extra tight at first, especially if we haven't really moved our upper body very much, or we've had a lot of tension in our back. So this is really good for the spine as well, to really open up the spine. It's also a great way to activate the root chakra, Muladhara. So inhaling forward, exhaling, rolling back. We'll do a few more of these, then we'll reverse direction. We're trying to keep our sits bones on the mat too, so really isolating the movement in the spine and the chest if we can. And we can reverse direction, so inhaling, chest forward, exhaling, rounded spine. See if we can keep the shoulders away from the ears. And just a few more here, adding in some nice dynamic movement into the spine. And we can come to center. All right, so we're gonna move into our hands and our knees to do cat and cow. So if you want to continue doing a little bit of Kundalini movement here, you can inhale as you come into cow, and then exhale as you round the spine. So inhale, cow, exhale, spine. If you don't want to do that at all, you're just welcome to do cat and cow with your own pace. But it's really nice to move the breath with cat and cow, continuing to move that prana, that life energy through the body. So feel free to do either version. So we're just continuing to open up space in the back and the spine, also in the hips. You can go at whatever pace is comfortable for you. Feel free to add anything that feels good to your cat and cow that may involve moving the hips in circles, which will bring a little bit of weight into the wrist. You can also flip the wrist if that feels good for you. You can also gaze back at your heels. So those are some extra additional movements that may feel good depending on where you may feel a little extra tight today or feel a little bit of tension. A few more breaths here, really warming up the body, trying to get out any of that residual heat and energy that we have in the body before we cool down towards the end. Start to wrap up wherever you are, coming back into a neutral tabletop position, and then just simply come back into child's pose. Bringing the arms out in front of you, bringing the forehead down to the mat. You can even activate child's pose by coming onto your fingertips, lifting your elbows up if you want to activate the shoulders a little more. Just staying here for a moment. And then on the next breath, very gently make your way into our first downward dog. Raising your hips high to the sky, planting the hands, flat on the mat, really rooting into the inner corners of the index fingers and the thumbs. You can pedal the feet, bending each knee, wagging the tail. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. Look to the front of your mat. Gently walk your feet to your hands. And when you get to the top of the mat, grab opposite elbows if that feels good to you, or you can just let the hands hang. And just come into a forward fold. Feel free to sway left and right if that feels good to you. And feel free to bend your knees as feels comfortable. And see if you can bring more of the weight into the balls of the feet, really getting that hamstring stretch here. Letting the head and neck relax. And then release the hands down and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. We're really taking our time here. Slowly, slowly, slowly rolling up. When you get to the top, sweep the arms up to the sky, palms meeting at the sky, palms down at the heart and at the side. All right, so we're going to get out some of that heat and that energy, right? So we're going to burn up some of that. So we're going to do just a few Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutations A, and then we'll really just work our way into winding down into more of a yin practice. We'll end with a juicy meditation. So come to the front of your mat, your toes together, your heels are slightly apart, standing tall, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale as you sweep the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up at the palms. Exhale as you hinge forward at the hips, forward fold Uttanasana, bending the knees as much as you need. Inhale as you come up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, hands on shins or fingertips on the mat, crown of the head reaching in front of you. And exhale as you bend both knees, plant both hands. Bring the left foot back, bring the right foot back, coming into a high plank. Staying here for just 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. So lower all the way down to your mat. Untuck your toes. And place your hands about 6 inches in front of you. So 6 inches in front of you. Push into the hands, lift the elbows up, coming into baby cobra, keeping the gaze down. Gaze is up at the third eye, in between both eyes, above the eyes, in the middle of the forehead. Breathing here. And exhale as we come back down. Slide both hands back directly underneath the shoulders. Squeeze those elbows in. So you're squeezing the elbows towards one another in the middle of the back. Tuck the toes. Lift those knees up, squeeze the whole body as you push back up. High plank, roll back, downward dog. Breathing here, shoulders away from the ears. And look to the front of your mat. You can step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, slowly rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Gaze up at the palms. Palms down at the heart and at the side. And again, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend both knees, plant both hands, bring the left foot back. Bring the right foot back, coming into a high plank. Option to do cobra like we just did, or you can shift forward chaturanga, or any sort of adaptation that you need. As we move through our flow, opening up the heart in upward dog or cobra, rolling back into downward dog. Getting out all that gained energy. Raising those hips high to the sky, nodding the head yes. Shaking the head no. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Urdhva Hastasana. Palms out at the heart and at the side. One last full Surya A. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up at the palms. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga, or your alternative that you would like. Moving through your full vinyasa. Ending in downward dog. Child's pose is always available to you at any point that you need. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Nodding the head, yes. Shaking the head, no. Look to the front of your mat. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Inhaling halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms down at the heart and at the side. Beautiful. All right, so what I want you to do now is take your right foot and bring it way back behind you and face the long edge of your mat. So face the long edge of your mat, bring the heels in, bring the toes out. So your heels are in, your toes are out. Okay. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale as you sink down, bending the knees. Coming into goddess pose, really working into the hips here. So inhale, straighten. Exhale, goddess. We'll do one more of these. Those in my lunar flow definitely are accustomed to these. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink down. Stay here for just a moment. Feel free to bring the arms out or feel free to bring the arms on the knees. We're just gonna sink down. Really burning some energy in the hips. Feel free to even rock left and right if that feels good for you. Breathing here, we're almost there, not much longer. Sinking even lower if you can. And gently straighten the legs. All right, staying in our wide-legged stance. Now you're gonna bring the toes more in than the heels. So you're kind of inversing your feet. Your toes are more inside, your heels are more outside. So really forming a solid base here. Bring the hands on the hips. Inhale as you open the heart to the sky. Exhale as you forward fold all the way down to the mat. Bringing the hands down in front of your face. Letting the head and the neck relax. Feel free to bend the knees as much as feels comfortable for you. And see if you can bring the weight into the balls of the feet, really getting this hamstring stretch. Once again, let the head and the neck relax. If you are more open here, then you can work to bring the heels of the hands in line with the heels of your feet. Stacking your elbows over your wrist into chaturanga arms. That's if you are feeling especially open right now in this moment. Otherwise, watch yourself right now. Watch if you are putting any rules on yourself, if you are putting any expectations on yourself, if you're judging yourself, or if you're praising yourself. Just watch yourself. Noticing what is coming up. Head and neck is relaxed down. And on the next breath, gently rise up halfway. Bring the arms out in front of your face if they were back behind you. Place the hands on your hips. Staying here halfway, inhaling, exhaling out, and then slowly, slowly, slowly rolling up. One vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. All right, so keep your left toes where they are, facing that long edge of your mat. Pivot those right toes to the right edge of your mat. Okay, so your right toes are towards the right, left toes are towards the front. Come down into warrior two. Come down into warrior two, gaze over that middle finger on the right hand, shoulders away from the ears. That right knee is stacking over that right ankle. Breathing here. We're gonna do some gentle flow movement once again to kind of move that energy in us. So inhale as you bring the palms together, straighten the legs. Exhale as you come down warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Continue doing a few more rounds of these with your own breath. So you're really coordinating your own breath, right? Not going to any other pace, but your own that you have right now. Controlling our movement or making it as fluid and loose as we want. Just a few more of these. And next time you're in warrior two, stay in warrior two. And just reverse your warrior two. Couple options. You can place your left hand on your left leg, or you can tuck your left hand behind you, bringing that right arm up above you. Breathing here wherever you are. And gently rising up into warrior two. Straighten that right leg. Bring those right toes back in. So now you're in that wide-legged stance once again. Your toes are more in, your heels are out. This time, a couple options for you. You can interlace your hands behind your back if you want here. You can also place your hands on your sacrum, your elbows bent. Or you can do what we did last time and have your hands on your hips. So whatever feels good. If you want to open your shoulders, you can clasp the hands behind you. So choose whatever calls to you in this moment as we prepare for a forward fold again. Inhale, the heart open to the sky. Exhale as we forward fold. Breathing here, wherever you are, keeping that breath moving. Bending the knees as much as you need and seeing if you can bring the weight into the balls of the feet. If your hands are on your sacrum, you're squeezing your elbows towards one another. And if your hands are down on the mat, then you're just simply walking the hands as back as feels comfortable for you. Breathing here, keeping that breath moving, adapting as needed. And on the next breath, bring the hands, if the hands are on the ground, bring the hands in front of you. If your hands are clasped, bring the hands to your body. If your hands are on your sacrum, then keep them there. Slowly come up halfway. We'll all remove our hands to our hips, halfway. Inhale here, exhaling out, and then we'll slowly, slowly, slowly roll up to standing. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. This time, keep your right toes where they are. Pivot your left toes towards the left edge of your mat. Coming down into warrior two with the left knee now bent over that left ankle. Shoulders away from the ears. Gaze over the middle finger on the left hand. Breathing here in warrior two. Standing strong. And starting our movement again. Inhaling, straighten everything. Exhale, come down warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, and continue doing a few more rounds of these with your own breath. Some of you may even want to close the eyes and just watch yourself. Just notice your own movement, becoming aware of your movement and aware of what is coming up. Not focusing on alignment or perfection or it has to be a certain way. It's simply just observing where it is, where the body is right now, where the breath is right now. Next time you're in warrior two, stay there. Breathing here, and we'll reverse our warrior. You can either bring your right hand on your right leg, or you can tuck that right hand behind you onto your left thigh. The left palm faces us. Wherever you are, reversing the warrior, getting a nice side stretch here. And on the next breath, coming back into warrior two. Straighten that left leg and just gently bring your right foot to meet your left. You're coming back to that front edge of your mat. Breathing here, standing tall. And we'll just not do a full flow. We're just gonna come down. We're gonna inhale the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, just simply walk the feet back into a downward dog. If you want to do a full flow, you are more than welcome to. But coming back into a downward dog. Breathing here and coming down into child's pose. Forehead down to the mat. Feel free to play around with your knees being together or your knees being open. This definitely can change by the day, but just noticing what feels the best in your body today. And on the next breath, very gently roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Kick your hips off to one side, bringing your legs out in front of you. This is a great time if you want to bring a blanket or anything soft. You can roll up your mat underneath your hips if that feels good to you, underneath your seat. Flexing the feet, legs out in front of you. See if you can sit tall. Floating the arms to frame the ears. Inhale everything up. Exhale as you forward fold over your legs. And feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to feel good. And if you have a pillow or anything comfortable, you can even place those on your knees if you want to add an extra cushion as you lie forward. We're not going to be here super long, but just tuning into what the body needs. Just also watching yourself as you move through this asana, noticing what's coming up. Keeping that breath moving. And on the next breath, slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. All right, so next we're going to open up into Upavista Konasana, so like as wide as your legs can go. The wider, but not necessarily the better. It just depends on what feels good for you. You can continue to sit on the edge of a blanket if that feels good. If you want to prepare, you can grab pillows or bolsters to put in front of you. So you can place something in front of you if you want to lie on it. But wherever you are, see if you can sit tall, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky, flexing the feet, getting that comfortable width of your legs that feels good for you. Float the arms to frame the ears. Inhale the crown of the head up to the sky. Exhale as you forward fold and let your hands fall where they will, all right, in front of you. And feel free to grab pillows or blankets in front of you if you want to lay your head and your chest on something that's elevated. Wherever you are, see if you can let the head and the neck relax and watch yourself, watch what thoughts are coming in. Remembering that we're not striving or straining to be anywhere other than where we are right now, and we're not forcing our body to do more than it feels open to right now. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Relaxing the jaw, separating the teeth. Feeling that breath expanding in the abdomen, the chest. And adapting as needed. If you need to bend your knees or adjust your feet in any way, you are more than welcome to do whatever you need to do. Slowing down that breath, really drawing out that exhale. See if you can add one more second to your exhales. Relaxing the head and the neck, the shoulders, the teeth, the jaw. And slowly, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. So now keeping your right leg extended, just bend your left foot into your right leg. For some of you, you may feel that your left knee is really high. If you want to place a block or a pillow or a blanket underneath that left knee to help it rest, that's a great time. This is a great time to do that. Keep that right toe flex. See if you can gently use your hands to square the chest and the shoulders over that right leg. So you're just very gently twisting over, but you're facing that right foot. When you are here, float the arms to frame the ears. Inhale everything up. Exhale as you fold over that right leg. Feel free to bend that right knee as much as you need to feel comfortable. Let the head and the neck relax, the jaw relax, shoulders relax. Feel free to place a pillow or a blanket on your right leg if you want to lay on something in your forward fold. And see if you can very gently just bring that left shoulder down just a smidge. So trying to square our shoulders. Keeping that breath moving, expanding in the chest and the navel. And slowly, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. And just simply switch legs. Extend out your left leg. Bend your right foot into your left leg. Adjusting as needed, flexing that left foot. Use your hands to very gently square the chest and the shoulders over that left leg, gazing at that left foot. Floating the arms up to frame the ears. Inhale up. Exhale as you fold over that left leg. And once again, if you need something underneath that right knee, you're more than welcome to use whatever you need. Letting the head and the neck relax. You can bend that left leg as much as needed. Relaxing the jaw, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And this time, see if you can just gently bring that right shoulder down just a tiny bit. Continuing to let that head and neck relax down, shoulders relaxed. And slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. And this time, bring both feet together, both knees apart. You can use a pillow or a blanket. We're not going to be super long, but if you just want to stay comfortable, you can place blocks or pillows underneath your knees too. Holding onto your legs, sitting tall, adding length into the spine. Inhale everything up. Exhale as you forward fold. Options here, you can use your elbows to guide the knees down. If you want more hip opening, you can also place the arms out in front of you to get a bit more of a deeper stretch. You can lay on top of a blanket or a pillow on your feet. That feels extra good on the feet too, to have that pressure. So wherever you are, just see if you can let the head and the neck and the shoulders relax and the jaw relax. Just watching yourself in this moment, observing yourself. Observing your breath, observing sensations in the body, observing the mind. Noticing what narrative is coming into our mind. And knowing that it's okay for there to be different types of narratives, that we can still remain present and have awareness to what is happening without engaging with it. And slowly, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get to the top, shrug the shoulders up to the ears and back down. Gently use your hands to close the knees together and gently make your way onto your back, onto your mat. When you come onto your back, just squeeze the knees into the chest, giving yourself a tight hug, rocking left and right, massaging the spine. Maybe even moving the knees in circles if that feels good to you. And then opening up into happy baby. that feels good to you, grabbing the outsides of both feet, both knees bending towards the mat, maybe even rocking left and right, massaging the spine. And then doing any last movements that you need for your practice, or coming all the way down onto your backs in Shavasana. Couple options here. If you still want to work with the hips, you can actually bring your feet together, knees apart, while laying down. Supta Baddha Konasana. You can have that little diamond shape if you'd like, or you can just keep your legs out in front of you. Feel free to place pillows underneath the knees to relax the hips and the lower back. You can grab a blanket, you can grab an eye pillow, anything that will really help you to wind down and relax, perhaps to block out anything on the outside and to really go within. Just bringing awareness to the body right now. Getting comfortable, relaxing the arms wherever feels good for you. Relaxing the legs wherever feels good for you. Just noticing the breath, maybe even placing one hand on the navel, the other hand on the heart. So just bring awareness to the breath as it is in this moment. Feel free to even turn the lights off if you really want to go within, tune out anything external. We're going to do a body scan together. But I want to leave it up to you what you want to be doing the scanning, whether that is imagining that you have a shower of water that is moving over you, or whether that is a warmth, a radiating warmth that is moving over you, or whether it's a light, a shining light of a color of your choice. So whatever you want to be doing the relaxing today over the body, perhaps even imagining that you are somewhere that is relaxing as this is happening, a happy place. Maybe that's outside in the sunshine on a beach. Maybe that's laying down on grass in a hill or a meadow. Maybe that's laying down on the forest ground, maybe on a mountain, whatever makes you feel the most relaxed in this moment. And we're going to bring our awareness to our crown of our heads, the very top of our head. So whatever mode you're using for relaxation, whether it's water or a light, a warmth, imagine that that is moving on the crown of your head, the very tip of your head, and moving down over your forehead, softening, relaxing as it moves down, releasing tension, tightness, moving down over the eyebrows, over the eyes, relaxing the eyes, moving down over our nose, our ears, washing over us as it moves over our upper lip, our bottom lip, our chin, and relaxing the teeth away from one another, separating the jaw as it moves down to our neck, our upper neck, where our neck meets our head, softening and relaxing as it moves down to the base of our neck that meets our shoulders. And now I want you to imagine that this relaxation that you're having on you, whether it's water, light, or warmth, it splits into two, each moving outward from your neck to your shoulders. Relaxing your shoulders away from your ears to your upper arms, moving outwards to your elbows, the forearms, relaxing and softening, opening as it moves towards your wrist on both hands. And then I want you to imagine that this splits even more into 5 different little areas, washing over as one of them moved towards your pinky in both hands. Another line of this moves towards your ring fingers, middle fingers, the index fingers, and the thumbs. Softening the hands, unclenching the hands, letting the fingers and the wrist relax, removing any tension, any pain, discomfort. And then all those 5 lines of that water or that warmth or that light reconnects, moves back up the arm, back to the shoulders, connects into one big washing of water or light or energy. Once again at the neck, and now moves down directly to the upper chest, shoulders, moving down over the chest, over the rib cage, the heart, perhaps even taking this moment to bring awareness to our heart, the heartbeat. Moving down to our lower chest, our upper abdomen, our navel, relaxing, releasing, keeping that breath moving. Moving down to below our navel, our pubic area, down to our hips, to our seats. Once again, splitting into 2, the water splitting into 2, the energy, the warmth, the light. And now moving down each of our legs to our upper legs, to our knees, moving down to our calves, our shins, relaxing, melting, softening, moving down to our ankles, and separating again into 5 lines as it moves to our pinkies, our little toes, or our pinkies, our other, I don't know what you call that, the 4th toe, our middle toe, our index toe, and our big toes. Softening the feet, relaxing the feet, unclenching. Just taking in this moment. relaxing the whole body. Watch yourself, then watch how you grow and change. And slowly start to deepen the breath, bringing movement into the body, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, stretching the arms up overhead, the legs out in front of you. When you're ready, rolling over onto either side, coming into a fetal position. And then when you're ready, either staying on your back if that's what calls to you, or making your way back up onto your mat in a comfortable seated position. Placing both hands together at the heart, Anjali Mudra, bowing down to the palms, giving gratitude for showing up to our practice this evening. Giving gratitude to our mind, our body, our breath. And giving gratitude to those in our lives that show up for us, both our close loved ones, and spreading this out to all the people that are helping one another survive and thrive right now. And knowing that we can always take our intentions with us off of our yoga mats and into our everyday lives. I thank each and every one of you for coming to practice with me this evening. It is always an honor to share this practice with you. I hope you have wonderful sleep this evening and relaxation, and I hope to practice with you again in the future. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Definitely hydrate after, and hope you get some good sleep, and I hope to see